Can somebody please tell me how this Mr. Beast and Mark Rober, who are so passionate about cleaning the oceans of plastics and trash,
Team C's. And for every $1 you guys donate like this, 1 less pound of trash will be in the ocean.
are the same Mr. Beast and Mark Rober who endorsed this water bottle company named Cirkul,
This is my first time drinking a Cirkul bottle. Delightful experience.
who with their endorsement is going to basically dump a ton of plastic back into the ocean. Let's start at the beginning. In a recent Mr. Beast video, Mark Rober and Mr. Beast have to survive in an abandoned city. And in the middle of that video, Mark Rober pulls out his Cirkul water bottle and does an ad read for Mr. Beast's channel. Cirkul is a company that makes flavored water bottles. They proceed to drink it, talk about how amazing it is. They offer this promotion deal, which is still going on. Cirkul now has Mr. Beast plastered all over their website, and we keep it honest here. So I decided to pick it up. I bought pretty much everything they have to offer to review here on this channel. And I was nearly done that shoot until I realized this. You're gonna have to buy these plastic flavored tampon things for the rest of your life because according to the package, you have to replace them. Yeah, it says use within 10 days of opening. So that's not a lot of days. The nipple/spout thing and the flavored tampon, you can't open them up and clean inside of it. So you're just gonna have to take them every 10 days and toss it in the trash. If you decide to stop using these flavored tampons, well then you are left with a useless water bottle because the lid just has a gaping hole, and that's a terrible water bottle design. That's a lot of plastic waste, and now that I'm saying it out loud, I just realized, didn't Mr. Beast and Mark Rober do this whole campaign about taking plastic like out of the ocean and stuff? Wait a minute, hold on. I stopped working on that video and started writing a new script, which is this video here. And if you're a bit confused, it might help if I explain exactly how this Cirkul water bottle works. So you've got the bottle itself, which is nothing to write home about. You've got a lid, which is different because the lid actually has a giant gaping hole in it. There's no way to stop that water. And then you've got what I'm gonna call the flavor tampon. Now, this thing also has the spout/nipple that you drink out of connected, attached to it. This is all one plastic piece. And as I mentioned, you have to replace this every 10 days. And the reason for that, my guess, is because you can't wash anything. You can't open it up, you can't clean inside of it. And so my guess is that mold might grow inside of it. And so if you keep drinking out of it, well, you're gonna be basically ingesting mold. So if you wanna buy this system, you're gonna have to buy these things pretty much for the rest of your life. And this is plastic, and Cirkul says you have to throw this away. Technically it's recyclable, but I'll explain why it's really not in just a minute. So that's how it works. But let's say you don't want to use the Cirkul system anymore. Well, then you basically can't use this bottle anymore because there's a giant gaping hole on the lid. Now, some of you out there might say, well, just go buy a compatible lid. My rebuttal to you would be, that totally makes sense. And if you're somebody who refurbishes water bottles like that, all the power to you. But I don't know many people who do that with their water bottles. There needs to be some nuance here because Cirkul says on their website that these flavor tampons, they're recyclable. They're category 5 recyclable plastics. And that sounds great until you do some research and realize that in America at least, only 5 to 10% of all plastics are actually recycled. And category 5 plastics, these are barely recycled because it costs more to recycle them than to actually make new plastic.
Despite knowing that most plastics can't be recycled, the industry lobbied state legislatures to pass laws requiring that chasing arrow symbol to be placed on all of their containers, regardless of whether they can actually be recycled or not.
Some people refer to this as wish cycling, where we wish it was recyclable because it seems to have the recyclable sign, so we put it in recycling only for it to end up in a landfill or in the water where fish ingest it, and then we ingest the fish, and then we get microplastics all up in our body.
Lies go down easier when you want them to be true. Our desire for things to be recycled is so strong that people who work in the industry even have a special term for it.
A lot of things really aren't recyclable, no matter how much we want them to be. People just want to throw, everything in, and they wish it was recycling, so we call it wish cycling.
You might be thinking, okay, you're one of those tree huggers, that's why you're making this video. I promise you, I'm not. I do try to do my part though. I am Asian mom trained, which means I reuse the heck out of plastic bags and plastic containers. I'm basically 90% microplastics at this point. I am not saying that Mr. Beast and Mark Rober need to be, Captain Planet. I am not saying that Mr. Beast and Mark Rober need to reinvent the plastics industry. Not at all. What I am saying and what I am calling them to is to better vet who they get into bed with, because these guys must have paid you guys a ton of money. I can't imagine. The money at that level must have been unfathomable because not only do you have Mr. Beast, largest YouTuber in the world, but you also have Mr. Mark Rober, who is the largest science YouTuber in the world. Those two guys promoting a product, that must have been a crazy amount of money. And on top of that, Mr. Beast, your face is plastered all over their website, so you also sold the rights to your name and your face. So, I can't imagine how much money that must have been. But guys, like, people out here, they trust you. And normally I would say, hey, it's not fair. They never asked to be role models. But in this case, you kinda did. You let a bunch of kids to go out, hashtag Team Seas, to go and clean up the oceans, and now you basically got in bed with a company where you're leading the same exact kids to go throw the plastics right back in. And that kinda sucks. But what do I know? I just review chairs. One thing you shouldn't do though is you shouldn't buy this water bottle. It's a piece of and the water tastes fake as hell. Until next time, stay honest.